What's going on, guys? There's my lugs. Alright, so as you can tell from the title of this video, it's about, let me fix this, adjust this right here. This video is about company drivers versus owner-operators. For the longest time, I didn't want to talk about this subject because I've never been an owner-operator, so I want to make that clear. And I have looked into it a lot. I've done a lot of research on it, but I've never actually done it. I have been a company driver for 9.5 years. So, you know, take what I say with a grain of salt. And I'm really not going to get into the specifics when it comes to being an owner-operator because I just don't know. But what I do know is that the majority of owner-operators have to be on the road quite a bit. And not all of them. I'm not saying that they all do, so don't get me wrong. I know quite a few that aren't. If you're an owner-operator, you have more, obviously, far more responsibilities, which means really, if you want to take time off, you've really got to plan ahead. You really have to think about this stuff. You can't just call in sick for a couple days, sometimes, because that could mean a loss of, $3,000 or so, or, a couple $1,000. And right there is more than your truck payment, But I just kind of got tired of hearing owner-operators bad-mouthing the company drivers. We're all out here doing the same run, guys. We're all out here delivering loads, so other people can have their turkeys on Thanksgiving, so people can go to the car dealership and pick up their new Subaru, so people can live their life and not question how everything got to the store. That's what we all do, however whatever means by which you do this doesn't matter. We all drive a truck, we all have a trailer behind us, and we all have product in that trailer. But when you start bad-mouthing drivers because they're company drivers, it's very polarizing. I mean, it's just like liberals versus conservatives. It's a very polarizing. It makes more sense for there to be polarizing issues between conservatives and liberals than it does between owner-operators and company drivers. That's because conservatives and liberals see life in a whole different way. You know what I mean? They see that we should do completely different things in life. Truckers, there's not, other than the fact that somebody's paying for a truck payment and the other person isn't, there's no big difference. I was watching this morning some of Ike Stephens' live feed before it got cut off for whatever reason. And he was, he was talking about owner-operators and what is this guy doing? Don't do it. What is he doing? Dude, you have like 4 spots beside me. And you're trying to blindside into the spot right next to me? Yeah, I got my hand on this horn. Alright, look, here's, like one guy on Ike Stephens' live feed. He was an owner-operator, and, he was just doing nothing but bad-mouthing company drivers. Well, actually, he was talking about how, company driver can't just take a month off, blah, 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 and talking about how company drivers are still, they make the truck payment whether they like it or not. They just don't see it on their check. Okay, first off, with the whole we don't see it on our check thing. Every employee pays for the business that they work for. That's just common sense. I mean, if you really want to be that anal about it, if it wasn't for that employee, then the company wouldn't be able to sustain itself. So yes, the employee helps pay for that company without actually seeing any benefits of ownership. That's part of being an employee. You're right, because I mean, an employee at McDonald's helps pay for the franchise. That's just the way it is. They don't see it on there, but they're contributing, and I mean, if the franchise owner didn't have to pay for the franchise, then they might be able to pay the employee a little bit more. So I mean, that's just a horrible example, but I'm sure there's flaws in that example, but you get the point of what I'm trying to say. So it would stand to reason that a company driver who works for ABC company, that they assist the owner in being able to pay for the truck, or pay for office supplies, or pay for trailers, or pay for this, or pay for that, pay for insurance. Because without the drivers, the company owner wouldn't have a business. So it's just stupid logic. So that's really all I have to say about that. But then there was also the stupid comment, well, company drivers can't take a month off. Like hell, we can't. All right, my boss just gave me a month off with full pay. All right, she gave me a month off with full pay when my son was born. All right, there's no clause in any contract that says she had to do that. Nothing. In fact, I wasn't even going to. I didn't ask for it. I had simply asked for a week off. When we found out my wife was pregnant, I had asked, hey, when my wife gives birth, I'm going to have to take a week off so I can help take care of her and the baby and my daughter. And then she came to me a couple weeks later. She goes, well, hey, how about this? How about I just give you the whole month off, paid? I'm on salary, see, and I make anywhere from 75. Well, I make anywhere from 74 to 80,000 a year. 74 is basically guaranteed. That's the salary, but if I do some extra stuff, I can make, as much as 80 or so a year. So that's not bad. So she gave me the whole month off as a company driver, okay? I can take vacations whenever I want to. We don't even have a vacation schedule. Like, you take so many days off. No, the way that works is if you want to take a week off, you work your butt off, for a couple weeks prior and get a couple extra runs in during those weeks. And then it'll basically, it'll float you through. You'll be able to coast through the week or two that you asked to be off. And then we continue to get paid full salary, My company is a very small company, and I've spoken negatively about it in the past, about certain issues. 6 or 7 months ago, I wasn't sure if I'd still have a job because there were just some obvious financial problems that were going on. But it's turned around significantly, in my opinion. The trucks are getting fixed. The truck I'm in now has had like $15,000 of work done to it in the last couple months. And she's actually, in the process of buying 2 brand new trucks, 2 brand new Volvo 780s that are owner-operator spec. But I'm not an owner-operator. You know what I mean? But I get the benefits of having a beautiful, fully loaded Volvo 780 as a company driver, with no stresses of having to pay for that truck. And I will say, just because I don't want to jinx it, being a small company, she's been approved for one, and then another driver is going to get that first truck. And then she just, I guess yesterday, put the papers in for the, to be approved for the one that I'll be in. So there's a possibility that, she may not be approved, I guess, but Hopefully she is, and I think she will be. But you know, if she's not, you know, I'll stay in this truck, no big deal. But just the fact that, you know, if the loan goes through for her, and I'm in, you know, I'll be in a brand new 2018 Volvo 780. Like I said, owner op spec as a company driver. I can take vacations whenever I want to. You know, there are certain times of the year I can't, like maybe during Easter, because we're big into the eggs. You know, eggs are our biggest customers. So of course during Easter, eggs are a pretty big commodity. But like any other time of the year, though, I can take off. You know, as long as I, you know, work hard enough before or after to make up for that time off. And you know, so it's not a bad deal as a company driver. And I can almost guarantee you, there's a lot of owner-operators out there that are driving for like $1.20 a mile. You know, or lease operators, whatever you want to call them. Which a lease operator is a cross between a company driver and an owner-operator, but they have all the responsibilities of an owner-operator. And some of these lease ops are only making $1.20 a mile on average. Maybe less than that. That's horrible. I can almost guarantee you that I make more money. I bring home more money than a lot of these owner ops do. But yet it's, you know, they're saying that we're the ones that don't know what we're doing. You know, I'm sorry, but having less stress and making more money seems like a win-win in my opinion. And then, you know, it's just it's such a silly argument. It really is. The way I look at it is, if you want to be a company driver, go out and be a company driver. If you want to be an owner-operator, go out and be an owner-operator. There's a lot more responsibilities involved being an owner-operator. But I guess there's more freedom in a way. I don't know. I really don't see it. I don't. I mean, especially in the position that I'm in. Like I said, I can take off whenever I want to. And I make damn good money where I'm at. And, you know, I'm going to be getting, more than likely anyway, as long as the papers go through, I'm going to be getting a brand new owner op spec Volvo 780. I don't see the advantage to being an owner-operator in the position that I'm in right now. Sure, there's company drivers that make jack squat, but they're called new drivers. Getting a cold, I think. They're new drivers. They're rookies. They start somewhere, and they start at the bottom. That's just the way of life. And some of these companies, it's pretty sad what they even pay their beginners. You know, like I still see some companies that are paying under 30 cents a mile for beginners. That's just, that's robbery in my opinion. That's big robbery. That's extreme robbery. But like I said, I'm not going to be I'm not going to go into the technicals of being an owner operator because I just don't know enough about it. But what's in the bigger picture of things, where people are saying the company drivers are the slaves, and are the slaves of the industry, and we're the scum of the industry, and this and that. You guys don't know what you're talking about. You're speaking from a place of ignorance, pure ignorance. Even though you've been a company driver, most people that are owner operators started out as company drivers. I'm sure there's an exception to the rule out there, but it just baffles me that, we polarize ourselves this much over a simple fact of whether or not one of us owns the truck we're driving or doesn't own the truck we're driving. It's petty. And it shows the mentality of a lot of these drivers out here. We should not be polarized like this. We really shouldn't be, over something so stupid. But, you've got the company driver, the owner-operators that just think that they're better than company drivers, even though I don't see how we're slaves compared to them. I don't see how anybody's a slave. I already made a video about that. I don't see how anybody's a slave. You know, we can go wherever we want to. We can work wherever we want to. We can do whatever we want to. We're not slaves in the sense of actual slavery. But I don't know. We're not the ones, as a company driver, we don't have the heavy responsibilities that the owner-ops do. But yet, at least at my job, I can customize my truck if I wanted to. I can do whatever I want to my truck. I can, put decals on it, I can put lights on it, I can do this, I can do that. I can treat this truck like it's my truck. Which I know that's not you can't say that about all companies. I do understand that. But it's, just one of those things, I guess. Everybody just has to fight, I guess. We all have to go online to find a reason to get mad at each other. That's all it is. But anyways, I'm going to get out of here. I'm in Flemington, New Jersey. I'm going to head to Cincinnati and get unloaded. And then I'm going to go, oh, that's another thing too. I'm going home after this. Keep in mind, remember how much I said I make, okay? I make around 75 grand a year, guaranteed, right? 75 grand a year, guaranteed. And I can make as much as 80 grand a year if I do some of my own lumpers and, maybe work a holiday or two. Keep that in mind, all right? I work 4 days a week. Yeah, 4 figures. I work 4 days a week, all right? I leave Monday morning. I'm home by Friday morning or Friday afternoon. So I've got a 3-day weekend just about. But I'm a slave, apparently. I'm a slave to my company. And I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's owner-operators out there that do make that and can be home that much. But it's not that many, It really isn't. Unless you really, I'm not saying it's not possible. I don't want to say, again, I don't know anything about owner-operators as far as that goes. But I have seen a lot of owner-operators that work their tails off and are out for months on end and don't make as much money as I make. After all expenses, after the truck and fuel and insurance and everything, they don't bring home near what I bring home. So it's pretty sad. But with that said, I'm going to get off here and go to the Pilot and get some coffee and head on to Cincinnati. So we'll see y'all later.